Hi, welcome to Arna Education. Today we are going to discuss on the voice of the first structure, simple present tense. How many examples in that, and we can learn even the negative and interrogative sentences, how to change its forms. Now let's start the rules how to apply in the simple present tense. First here, this is an first rule we is classify the sentence into three parts, and subject and object will be replaced, and use appropriate be forms, and by is used in a passive voice, and use third form of the verb, and change of pronouns. And this is a table how we will expand our sentences into changes into a passive voice. Now let's learn. This is the structure of a simple present tense, and see the structure here. Subject and does plus V1 by verb plus object. This is an active voice, and object plus is a ma plus V3 plus by plus subject is a passive voice. This is an example of simple present tense. What I am going to give here. I read a poem. I read a poem. See here. First, classify the sentence into three parts as in the first rule which is mentioned, that is here the subject and verb, a poem is an object. Then subject and object will be replaced. Here a poem, and the subject comes here, and change of pronouns. When there is an active voice I, we have to change that pronoun. So he's here a poem. That what will be applied in the next sentence? Use appropriate be forms and use third form of the verb before an appropriate be form. Then when a poem is mentioned here, this is in the singular form. So is used. A poem is. And what is the be form for the read is the same spelling will get it, but the pronunciation is different. A poem is read, and by is followed in the passive voice form, and by what is that? Me. Change of pronoun is I changes into me. He scolds me. This is an other example what we can change into passive voice. Here me will change into I, as the subject has to come to object place, object has to go to the subject place. And as we told the identify the three parts in the later video, then we'll see I is followed with the am. I am scolded by him. So just see here, he scolds me. Identify the sentences into three parts. One, here the subject, verb and object, and when me will change into I in the change of pronouns, and I is followed with am, and scolds, the verb has to be changed into the V3 form, and by is followed, and he is changed into him. In every example there will be small changes, so kindly identify it. This is the third example here, and here Raju plucks flowers. Raju plucks flowers. Now very simple to change here. Flowers, and this is a plural form, so we have to use are. Flowers are, and plucks will change into plucked by Raju. Very simple. If you keep all these rules in your mind, the sentence you can change into a passive voice. This is the fourth example, negative sentence. Just see here, this is a negative sentence. You do not like her. When there is a not in the sentence, that is a negative sentence. When there is a negative in the active voice, Just see here. First apply the rule. Her will change into she. And she is followed with is, and apply not in the negative as well as in the passive voice as usual, and like will be changed into like as a V3 form, and by is followed, and you in the change of pronouns will be same as in passive voice. This is what is the most important thing to learn. You and you. Her is changed into she. She is followed with is, and like with V3 form have to change. The hare does not win the race. See here the sentence. Just bring the object 1 to the subject as the race. Okay, and follow this with is. The race is not won by the hare. Very simple. Just here, the race. This object has come to the subject place in the passive voice, and here does plus V1. See here, does plus V1 is here what is given in the structure form in the above, does plus V1, as here it is mentioned as is and not as usual, and when changed into 1 is a V3 form, by is followed, and the hare has come to the object place. This is an interrogative sentence. This is the 6th sentence what we are explaining here. This does he carry a bundle? See here, the same question has to be changed into a passive voice as is a bundle carried by him. So in the passive voice we have to change as does will come to the is, as the bundle is a singular form. It is in the singular word it is. So is a bundle, carry changes into carried, by is followed, and he will be changed into him. This is the 7th sentence in the interrogative sentence what I am explaining. And what does she give you? When we change into passive voice, see here, the same question word has to be placed as usual, and what are you given? Give is changed into given by her. Okay, she is changed into her. Now, see the interrogative sentence of the 8th one. We'll explain another example. See here, do you read this book? So the question we change as is this book? See this book has come here, and do, does or a V1 or whatever it is used here. Is this book read by you? So in the change of pronouns from the active voice, you will be changed into you in the passive voice. So this is an 9th sentence. Here, she sells fruits. Fruits. Put an object over here. Fruits. Sells will come with are, as the fruits is a plural form. Fruits are sold by her. She comes to the her, and by is followed, and sells with a V3 form has changed into sold, and fruits, an object has come over here, and when the object is in the plural form, are is mentioned as it is in the structure form. This is a 10th sentence. They play cricket. See here, First, we go with classify the sentence into three parts. I am recapping once in the 10th sentence. You just observe clearly. First rule as mentioned, subject, and here the verb, and here it is an object. And object will come to the subject place as mentioned here, cricket, and cricket is played, play will change into played by them, they will change into them. Cricket is played by them. That is the sentence we change into the passive voice. I think you are very clear with this simple present tense with a number of examples what I explained. So in my next video we'll go with the next form.